In this video, I want to share a super simple exercise to help stop your snoring. So if you're new to this channel, my name's James. I'm a movement coach specializing in the brain and nervous system. And my goal is basically to give you the tools to help manage your body in whatever realm you may be looking. So that could be pain and injury management, skill development, or even just improving your mental health. I think it's important to learn the tools on how to do this yourself without needing to rely on professionals for the bare basics. And snoring is a good example of this. So this is something that affects a truly staggering number of people. And in some cases, you will find that the best course of action probably is getting a GP referral for a sleep study so that they can analyze exactly what's going on and help put some interventions in place for you. But actually, for the majority of people that deal with snoring, there are some simple tips that you can follow that can get rid of it 90% to maybe even all of the time. In fact, the majority of people who see me about snoring specifically solve their problem by looking at one of two exercises. There is retraining their breathing patterns, which we'll get to in another video, and the swallow endurance exercise, which we're going to cover today. So first, to understand why this is going to help us, we need to understand why we snore in the first place. What is going on with this whole mechanism? Basically, snoring happens when the muscles inside your throat relax too much during sleep, and that causes the tissues to vibrate in a certain way that generates a whole lot of noise. So really, while the noise is the thing that bothers us, the real issue we need to look at is this muscle relaxation. And when we look at it like this, the solution can seem pretty simple. In the same way as every other muscle that we deal with that is too weak or too relaxed, simple strength training exercises are going to be the key to bring them back into shape and get them functioning optimally. While it might be easy to think about how you might strengthen a bicep or a quad muscle, it's definitely a little bit more tricky to imagine how you're going to do this within the throat itself. It's not like you can add weights and resistance bands to the inside of your throat to get them performing a workout, but luckily there's an action that we do every single day that can help us out here. So as I've already mentioned, the exercise we're looking at today is called the swallow endurance exercise, and that is because we're going to be recruiting our conscious ability to swallow to get all of the muscles inside our throat tensing up and activating in the way that we want them to, so that they've got a little bit more muscle tone when we go to sleep. And so with this exercise we're going to look at, many people have reported that doing it right before they go to bed actually reduces the chance that they're going to snore overall. I'd also say that if you find that you're not very good at this exercise, building up your tolerance over time is going to be a really, really good idea. So let's get into what it looks like. There's two things that you need to be able to do. One of them, really, really easy. You just need to be able to swallow on command. The second one takes a little bit more effort. This is called the restricted inhale. And what I'd like you to do to try it out is to pinch your nose, cover your mouth, and with both of those things covered, you're gonna try to breathe in. Okay, so obviously you're not going to be able to, but what I want you to notice is what happens in your body, specifically around your trunk, your chest, and your neck when you try to inhale, but you're not actually able to. So most likely you're going to find you'll probably feel some sort of a sensation down in your chest, some muscles tensing up. Very likely your diaphragm is going to lift. Now some people can feel that better than others. On top of that, you'll probably feel lots of different levels of tension around the neck, around the collar, maybe even in the jaw. And this is good. This is what we want. We're trying to have a little bit of tension in the neck from all sides. So this kind of covers the outside of the neck. Once you've had a go doing it with your nose and mouth covered, you can try exactly the same thing, but you don't even need to cover your nose. Just try to pull the air in without actually letting any air in, and you should feel all the same sensations, all the same muscle contractions happening again. So once you've mastered this, we're just going to combine it with a swallow. So you're going to do that restricted inhale. As soon as you feel those muscles tense up, you're also going to swallow one time. And that is the exercise. Now, to build the endurance side of it, we're going to add a little ladder exercise. So the way this is going to work, you're going to take a normal breath in, then a normal breath out, and at the end of that breath out, you're now going to do the restricted inhale instead of breathing in again. Once you do the restricted inhale, you're going to perform the swallow. Then you get a normal breath in again. You get a normal breath out. Now you're going to do the restricted inhale, but this time you're going to do 2 swallows. Hopefully you can see where this is going. We're going to ladder up the number of swallows per breath over time until we build it up to the maximum we can tolerate. As far as the exercise goes, that is entirely it. Now we just need to know how long should we be training this for, how long until we see the results. Now, just like with everything, I can't say that being able to do a certain number is going to equal a certain result. Everybody's different and you're gonna need to test this for yourself, but as a general rule, if you find it hard to get to 5 swallows in a row, I would definitely make training this over a long period of time a top priority for you. And as for the upper limits, most of the people I've worked with, and I would even include myself in this category anytime I've been woken up because I was snoring, I found that the sweet spot seems to be around the 8 to 10 mark. If we can manage building up that ladder until we get 10 consecutive swallows in a row before we need to take another breath, that tends to be what does the job in terms of getting rid of the snoring for that evening at least. So there you have it. There's your exercise. Take it away, try it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Now, as I said, this is a really great one to do right before bed. In terms of long-term effects, the results I found tend to be very, very mixed between people, depending on the reasons why they are snoring. You might find that this gives you some relief but tapers off quickly, or you might find that, you know, once or twice actually keeps you going for a couple weeks or months even. If you're finding this helpful and you want to add a little bit more to it, there will be a video coming pretty soon on changing your breathing patterns. That's going to be the second thing that sorts the problem out for quite a lot of people. And if you get through both of those videos and you find that nothing seems to be helping or working, then I also would consider get yourself a GP referral to a sleep study, because possibly you are in the category where there's more things going on and you actually need to have these things examined. So that's it from me. Let me know what you thought of this or if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next one.